Praise the Lord. Welcome to Bible Prophecy Forum from Nairobi, Kenya. My name is Evangelist Omondi Olale. I want to bring you the latest breaking news. As many of you are now aware, World War III has now entered another dangerous phase in the Middle East theater. World War III, as I told you in my past videos, will be fought in three main theaters. The first theater is the one between Russia versus Ukraine and NATO, including Babylon, America, which has essentially taken over the war in Ukraine. It is America, British, Germans, and France who are literally fighting against Russia. Zelensky is just a prostitute, political prostitute, that the CIA, the Mossad, MI6 are using to try and destroy Russia, but they will fail. The other theater of World War III will be fought in the Middle East, and it has already started. It started last year with the 12-day war between America, Israel, and Iran, which is being supported by Russia, China, North Korea, Cuba, and Yemen, and Hezbollah, and Hamas. So that is the second phase of World War III. So today, early in the morning, we received breaking news that Donald Trump and the prime monster of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, had launched an attack against Iran. And Iran has already responded. Iran is not Venezuela. Iran is not Libya. Iran is not Iraq, Saddam Hussein. Iran is a military superpower, and they have existed for thousands of years compared to America, that is only 250 years old this year by July. And I want to tell you, after the dust has settled in the Middle East, the nation of Iran will still be standing. For your information, the nation of Iran has got the highest conversion of Muslims becoming Christians in the entire world. The fastest growing church in the world is inside Iran. Therefore, we cannot say that it is God's plan and God's will that the nation of Iran be destroyed and millions of precious people created in the image of God will be nuked by Israel and America. This war is instigated by Satan that has entered Donald Trump to fulfill the purpose of the Illuminati and Albert Pike, who prophesied using demonic energy that World War I, World War II, and World War III will be created by the Illuminati to bring in the New World Order. And Albert Pike prophesied using satanic energy that the final World War III will be fought between the Jews and the Muslim Arabs. And then after those two religions have destroyed themselves, the Luciferians are going to take over the world, and they are going to destroy Christianity, and they will usher in the new world order under Antichrist Lucifer. So this is where this entire war is going to lead us into. The third theater of World War III will be fought in the Far East between China versus Taiwan, and America will be defending Taiwan. And once this war begins, Russia will attack America through Alaska and through Canada and through Cuba and Venezuela and Nicaragua. So that is the plan that they have. And this is what is going to happen. And I'm afraid billions of people are going to lose their lives. If this war gets out of hand, I don't rule out Babylon, America, and Babylon, Israel, led by Prime Monster Netanyahu, deploying nuclear weapons that will kill millions of Iranian Muslims and Iranian Christians. And even there are many Jews who are living in Iran, and they still even worship in their synagogues. They've lived there for thousands of years, and many of them are not willing to go to Israel because they know that that is a fake state. They know that that is a fake state that was started by the Illuminati and the Masonic powers. Because Albert Pike prophesied that the Freemasons were going to start and create a secular Zionist state in the Middle East. And then they were going to prop it up and arm it. And they were also going to prop up the Muslim countries and arm them with the best weapons. And the two religions, Judaism, will rise to fight against Islam. And when they have destroyed each other, the Freemasons are going to take over the world, destroy Christianity, and then they will bring in the one world religion under the Lucifer and the Antichrist. That is what they call the New World Order. And to do that, they have to create the Great Reset, which is the destruction of the world economy, the destruction of the American middle class, and the enslavement of the middle class, removing them from the economic privileges that they have had over these years, and make them into worker bees, make them slaves in the digital technology that is going to come up once the dollar has been removed. The digital cities, the smart cities, which are nothing but concentration camps, because you will not be allowed to move out on a radius of 15 minutes from your city. You will be trapped. And this is what affordable housing scheme that Kenya is doing. These are digital ghettos that are being built for the future Antichrist, where people are going to be forced to leave their farms, their ancestral lands, and they're going to be forced into these ghettos that are being built all over Kenya. And that is the plan, the smart cities. Smart cities are nothing but digital ghettos that they are going to use to control human population after their 2030, once the United Nations will grab all the land from Africans, and people will be forced to live in digital ghettos. That is why the affordable housing scheme is being built. It is part of the Antichrist system. You will not own those houses because you will not be able to pay for them. It is impossible to pay for them using the current economic trends in Kenya. You cannot pay for them. My parents bought their first house when they were around 30 years. By the time they were 28, 30 years, 32, they were already buying their first house in Buruburu in the 1975. A 3-bedroom house. And then by 1984, when my dad was hardly in his 40s, 45, 44 there, my dad was buying his second house. My dad and my mom, they were buying their second house, 3-bedroom house in Pioneer Estate, along Outer Ring Road. And before my parents retired at 55, they had already bought their third house, 4-bedroom house in Langata Estate, 4-bedroom house with a servant's quarter of 1 bedroom. And by the time my mom retired from Central Bank of Kenya, where my mom worked for almost 20 years. She worked there for 18 years before she retired because of back problems. My mom was able to buy and build another 3-bedroom house in Imaradaima along Mombasa Road. So those were 4 houses by the time my parents were reaching 55. You can imagine. Today, even me, I'm at 58 years old. I've not bought my own house. I know there are few Kenyans who have bought houses, but because of the corruption and economic crisis and just unequal opportunities and tribalism, it is impossible for many Kenyans, especially if you are from the wrong tribe politically, to own a house or even to buy a house. So we are entering the beast system. Therefore, this war that Donald Trump has started against Iran, he was warned by his top generals not to attack Iran. Even the former defense minister of America, Mr. Lloyd Austin, he wrote a letter warning Donald Trump not to attack Iran because it will lead to disaster. But remember the video I did of how King Ahab was deceived by evil spirits, and then he went into war against the king of Aram. And King Jehoshaphat supported King Ahab. And when they went to war against the king of Aram to conquer Ramoth Gilead, King Ahab was killed in that war because he had been deceived by deceiving spirits. So even in this war, Donald Trump has been deceived by deceiving spirits, like Senator Lindsey Graham, the homosexual and war-thirsty pervert, and the Secretary of Defense, who is a Nazi, Pete Hegseth. That is a Nazi. That guy is a racist and he's a war criminal because he's the one who has been supporting the bombing of Palestinians by supplying Israel all these weapons, even invading Venezuela. America is led by war criminals. Donald Trump is a war criminal. All American presidents are war criminals. They bomb cities, they kill millions of civilians. They overthrow governments with impunity, and they loot nations. Like now Donald Trump is saying that all the oil in Venezuela belongs to America. This is racism, fascism, and terrorism at its highest order.